Hi, my name is Steve, and I was diagnosed with a blood cancer in 2010, and as the result of a stem cell transplant, I have a number of medications that I take, and I visit a number of different doctors. And it's really important, I think, as a patient, to make sure that all the providers that I see have all of my information and all of my test results and things like that. So I see it as a real responsibility for me to be prepared when I go see my provider.
So what are some of the things that you do to prepare for a visit with your healthcare providers?
Well, I try to put some thought into who I'm going to visit. If it's going to be my hematologist, I know he's concerned about my blood levels and my graft versus host disease. And so I usually put together, just a sheet of paper where I list what my symptoms are, any updates of my health, and have that written down. If there's any change in my medications, I list that. And then really any of the questions that I want him to answer, because once I get into that room, it's easy for me to forget. And even if I've got a caregiver with me, I'm not sure that I'm going to get all my questions answered unless I write them down. And then I think it's also important to have a notebook. So I have my notebook there, and when he answers my questions, I write them down, because it's so easy to go home and say, now what did he say? So that's how I prepare. I also make sure and bring a med list, a medication list, because I take a number of medications and they change over time, and even if they haven't changed since the last time I visited the provider, I still think it's important to have it, because that's something we can talk from. And if I'm having any problems with any of the medications, we can look at them and say, what kind of alternatives do we have to change?
What do your doctors think about this? The way that you prepare for the visits with them?
Well, I think my hematologist really likes it, because he actually takes the piece of paper that I have, so it's got my comments on it, and he makes additional notes on that. And my thought is that I think it makes it easier for him, because he doesn't have to take as many notes, and he can focus squarely on me. I think with a new doctor it's important too, because that gives them a little bit of comfort that they are getting all the information they need from me.